You're watching 31 and Counting. I'm Eric Lee, and this is
Anaya.
Today we're going to be making bread. Not just any bread. This time we're going to be making
brioche bread.
Brioche bread. So we have our ingredients laid out right now. What do we have?
Our flour,
which is 4 cups. Our ingredients, our recipe says 3.8 cups, but we learned from the past, you know, that extra 0.2 doesn't really make a difference. The next thing we have is
our butter,
and that's going to be 2.6 sticks of butter. We have them out right now at room temperature so they can soften up, and this is unsalted butter. Next thing we have is
our yeast.
Yeast. So for the yeast, you can do 3 packets of active dry yeast, or 15 grams, or 30 grams of fresh yeast. What's next, baby?
We got our salt.
Just half a tablespoon of salt.
We got our sugar.
5 tablespoons of sugar.
And we got our eggs.
6 big, large eggs. So the first thing we're gonna do with our 5 cups of flour is we're gonna start mixing everything together. I will grab the salt. You can grab the sugar. And we're gonna add the yeast. Then you're gonna take your nice clean hands, mix it in. Let's get all this mixed in together. Okay, and if my sous chef would just drop a few eggs in, just a few, right in the middle. Keep going. Awesome. All right. And just once these start pulling together, we're gonna add a few more. Go ahead and throw a few more in there, baby. See, right now you're gonna get up with a real sticky and a real loose type of dough, but don't worry, it's all gonna come together. Just dump those other 2. The kids will like this, but you know, you can make a mess really quick with this kind of dough. All right, so once this starts to pull together, you can put all these up. Once these all start to pull together, we're gonna transport it right over onto our working surface. And if you were wondering where we got those numbers from, we're actually following a recipe that we found on the web. It's useful like that. And we're reading it off of this. Get this scrape going on. So this is actually the easiest part of making a dough. Let's flip this over. All right, now it comes here to the harder part. We're gonna knead this dough for 10 minutes. I will see you guys in a second. All right, guys, so we're only 3 minutes into kneading this, and it's already starting to come together, but don't give up, don't stop yet, keep working it, and trust me, that extra time, all you're doing is building in and building up that gluten, so you can have better structure at the end. All right, guys, I'm already tired. I will see y'all in, 7 more minutes. So, after that good workout, getting that triceps built up, we have our dough. It's been kneaded for 10 good minutes. I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna put this one aside and use it a little bit later. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to incorporate all that butter into this little bit of dough. Wish me luck. So I'm gonna start off by laying this out, working it a little bit, put a little bit of butter in there. You see, for you to be able to do this, your butter still needs to be a little bit chilled so you can work it a little bit easier. But it has to be at least soft enough to work. So it's up to you to find that safe space. But this butter is going to immediately change the consistency of your dough. And it's going to be a little scary. We're going to be working this. The recipe says work it for 10 minutes. I think the safe spot is about 11 to 13 minutes of working it. Kind of hard to get this. See what I'm saying? How it's breaking up? It's okay. Just squeeze it between the fingers, get it all up in there. Now if you look at my dough, is incredibly loose. But it's part of the program, man. Stick to it. Keep on eating it. I still got a whole nother stick of butter to throw in. So I've worked in all my butter into my dough, and it still looks pretty scary. Not to worry. You still have another half of that dough to mix in. So we're good. We got this. Hand me that, baby. And all we're gonna do is lay this out. Our nice firm dough. And we're gonna work our mixture in. So it's work. But it's worth it, guys. I'll let you see when it starts coming together. All right, happy people. We ran into one small little hiccup. My hands are too warm. I'm too hot. You guys too hot. But in reality, what's happening is there's so much butter in here. My hands were warm and it was not allowing the dough to come together no matter how long I needed it. But that's not really an issue. So what we're doing right now is we scraped everything together with our handy dandy scraper. It helps a lot to have one. And we're gonna let this sit and cool down for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe, and then we're gonna get back to working it. This should help for y'all. If y'all come to that same situation where y'all's isn't coming together, scrape it, take a break, have an adult drink, then get right back to it. All right, so here we go. Dough has come together and it looks nice. So the next step is gonna be to put this into a bowl big enough for this to rise in. You're gonna spray it with like Pam, some kind of non-stick spray, whatever you have. Put, what's the stuff called?
You're gonna put some
Saran wrap over the top, poke a hole in, and let it sit for 2 to 4 hours. All right, guys, so it's been 2 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes, give or take. And as you can see, my dough is already doubled in size. So next step I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna flip this out. And that's why you grease the pan, or grease the bowl so it comes out easy like this. All I'm gonna do is try to work this into a tight ball, that's it. So without putting down any flour, you're just gonna make this into a nice, tight ball. Get out that air. Just a real quick little work. Then I'm gonna roll this inward. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put it back in here and get some more clear film or whatever you call it. Saran wrap over the top, and we're gonna check this out tomorrow. This is a very important part. You need to let it sit in the refrigerator and kind of ferment and build that flavor and everything that's necessary for this to be a good brioche. I mean, you can eat it now, but it wouldn't really be a nice brioche. We'll see you guys later. All right, guys, so it's the next day. It's been a little over 12 hours. What we're gonna do is take our dough that's been fermenting and really building that flavor up, flip it out, and the first thing we're gonna do is divide it in half. Alright, keep that for later. I'm gonna knock some of this air out of here. See, that's what you want, is a nice silky dough. And you have good elasticity to it. You can see. It feels good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna divide it into, make it into a circle. And I'm gonna divide this into 3 equal sized pieces. Let's roll it out into a little hot dog real quick. It's a big hot dog, don't judge me. I'm not an expert at this, but I just need to make it pliable so I can guess what 3 is gonna be? I'm gonna say 1 here and 1 there. All right, so now we want to actually roll these out into hot dog size rolls. And just a tad bit longer. Just some big sausages. All right, that's 1. I'm gonna take these pieces. See, this is that elasticity I was talking about. You see how your dough wants to pull back together? It's not really a bad thing, but it's a little annoying. So what you do is you take your piece, all 3 right here. All right, so all we're gonna do is do a simple little braid on this. Just gonna cross over here, cross over there, over here, there. It doesn't have to be the prettiest thing. You just want it to be slightly tight. And the design is going to work itself out in the end. All right, so now we have our little braid. Dump it into our pan that's already been sprayed. We're going to let that sit in there after we cling wrap it. Put saran wrap on top of it and let it sit for 20 minutes. We want it to rise up and fill up that space real quick. Easy peasy. So it's been 20 minutes. As you can see, our dough has risen up. I could let it rise for just a little bit longer, but really don't have time. It's getting kind of late. What I have now is a little egg wash I'm gonna put on here. This is gonna help give it some color and get you that nice, pretty golden brown color on it. All this is 1 egg and a little bit of salt. I know sometimes they say you can add in some milk or whatever, but with bread I like to keep it really simple, you know, especially a sweet buttery bread like this. I feel like I got enough on everything. I think it's gonna be good enough. All right, and this is gonna go in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. And voila, there's your bread. 25 minutes, 350 degrees. Oh yeah. So guys, that was pretty much it. I know it's a lot of steps, but it's definitely worth it. The only thing I have to do now is let it come down to room temperature before cutting it. And that's it. I hope you guys try this at the house. Let me know if you do. Let me know how it turns out. Leave it all in the comments below. Let me know if there's something else you want me to try. I'm pretty sure it'll be my first time, but I'm down for it. You've been watching 31 Accounting. I'm Eric Lee, and we out.